about a freak being in a bathroom wanting to touch somebody, possibly, or having separate bathrooms, but they don't have a problem with what he does to women.
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused there with his supporters.
Well, I'm very confused by the number of women that I see that still don't see a problem with what this guy
What do
said.
those women look like, though?
You see, Carol, you want to get me
And
in
and
trouble.
to be honest, those women the other day they said that they tracked down where he paid them each $2,500.
Is that right?
That's what I read.
Mm. Well, you know, politics is a dirty, dirty game, and nothing surprises me anymore as it relates to what comes out of the mouths of the Republicans. And it's a shame because they ride high in the saddle on morals and faith and religion and scruples and all of that stuff. But when something like this happens, many of them seem to turn their heads and look the other way and say, well, it's okay. He really didn't mean what he said. And it was 11 years ago and blah, 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 blah. But this guy is running to be the leader of the free world, to be the president of the United States. I don't take that as a small, mediocre deal. It's a big deal, huge deal. And I think the president needs to represent, look like, act like what America is supposed to be. Now, if we have changed our morals and our direction and all of that to being less than the best, less than being righteous, and less than being faithful, and less than being good people, role models, the police for the world, then I guess it's okay to elect a guy like that and make him our representative, to go and negotiate deals with foreign countries, to set the pace, to paint the picture for who we are. Now, listen, everybody's got some skeletons in their closet. We've all done some stuff that we may not be proud of.
Oh, not me.
You're kidding me. I think you've already been to the confessional. I've heard some of your testimonials here on the air. So, but nothing like this. And when you're trying to gain support, gain voters from females that he needs desperately, this was like an atomic bomb dropping in his lap. But I got to say, Donald Trump has finished the job of completely destroying the credibility of the Republican Party. He has he's like a virus. First they were attacked by a virus 8 years ago, and then again 4 years later with the Tea Party. That was a devastating virus. It ate at the core of the Republican Party. And quite frankly, the Republican Party needs an overhaul. Ron fell. He doesn't mean what he says. He means what he says, which is, that's what we're trying to figure out. Good one, Ron. Ron Fell's a great friend of mine. Had an opportunity to work with him at the Gavin Report years ago. And he's a great broadcaster and media guy. Thanks for tuning in, Ron. Appreciate it. Appreciate your support. But, I got to tell you, this guy is like a bull in the china cabinet. But I've been saying from day one, I really never believed that he really wanted to be the president. Anybody with an IQ 2 points above plant life would not say and do some of the things that he's done while running for the office. Through the entire primary, he was destructive. He alienated. He distanced himself. He criminalized various fractions of the voting public, from Latinos to blacks to whites to females, Asians. He hates everybody. He's an equal opportunity jackass. So I don't understand how anyone that's really paying attention to this and understands the whole political process could get behind a guy like this. I mean, yes, the Republican Party needed a shakeup, but I think this type of shakeup, and I don't think that was his intention. I think he had to run as a Republican because there's no way he was going to be able to bump off Hillary Clinton. He could not run toe-to-toe in the primary against her. No way. No way. So he had to go to the other side, and the Republicans were so desperate, they'll wrap their arms around, Smokey the Bear right about now. No, Smokey would be a good guy. A pack of coyotes. And I hate coyotes. Coyotes ate my dog. I'm getting ready to become one of those crazy people living in the woods with camouflage all over them just to take out the coyotes. And I don't like guns. But that's just me. You can have a gun if you want, but I don't want one. But let me tell you, this has been pretty comical. But it's pathetic at the same time. Because nothing that comes out of this guy's pie hole makes sense. Now, in the next debate, the final debate, here's what I would instruct. If I was a media consultant to Hillary Clinton, I would say, Hillary, no matter what he says when he tries to attack you, ignore him. Whatever the question that you're presented with, answer that question very precise, concise, make your point, and move on. At the top of the debate, I would have her do this. On his first attack, I would look at him. I would turn and look at him and say, Donald, I'm going to ignore everything that you throw at me tonight because I've already answered your ridiculous questions numerous times, and the American people have already heard the answer. Then I would turn away from him and answer the question. And every time, he's going to be like an attack dog because he's got nothing to lose at this point. Like he said to African Americans, you got nothing to lose, so you might as well come over here and support me. No, 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 and no. So ignore him. He's going to be the schoolyard bully. He's going to be a thug. He's going to try to get in her face, make noise, create distractions, and then just let him do that. And turn and answer the questions and go to the core of what the people are looking for. Answer those questions, the concerns, whether it's the economy, whether it's military, whether it's the environment, whatever the question is, you go straight to the core and answer that question. And that will take all the sting out of his little mosquito bite. Treat him like he doesn't exist.
Well, you didn't hear what he said. He said if they bring out more videos on him, he's going to make Hillary's life a hell when they debate.
What else can he talk about? He's already talked about Benghazi. He's already talked about the emails. He's already talked about her husband. What else is there?
I don't know. He just keeps coming back.
That's because he's a one-trick pony, and he has nothing to talk about. He cannot. He does not have the mental and the intellectual capability of talking about the issues because he doesn't really care. He's a self-serving knucklehead. Apollo, welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. You know what? Sunday night, both of them spent most of the hour and a half trying to explain why the other one should not be president.
Exactly.
And they were both right.
So they were throwing hand grenades at each other. But see, I think the people, the American people, are sick and tired of that. We want to know. We want to hear them answer the questions.
Well, I felt she answered questions.
She did better than he, but again,
every time she went to, he would interrupt his.
Well, that's the problem.
So,
see,
but I don't think
I think he's on cocaine. He sniffs. All he does is sniff and pace and interrupt people. Trust me, I was in entertainment. I know what people on cocaine do.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. We've
I
all
wanna
been
do
in
is
those
it's
parties.
my
Well,
turn
you
to
know,
talk, my
I
turn to
snip
talk, my
I
turn to
snip
talk.
a lot, but I have allergies. I've never touched coke. Maybe
Yeah,
he
I'm
has
just saying.
allergies. Maybe it's the air conditioning.
When
No,
somebody
no.
is constantly wanting to talk, over talk, I'm not finished talking. Cocaine makes you want to talk a lot, makes you
Yep.
pace the floor.
Arrogant.
And
Well,
Makes
did
you a
you
fool.
hear him when he tried to tattle? He goes, "Well, she interrupted me,
He's like a
like
little
some
school
little
kid.
kid."
It sound like they were on the playground at
Yeah,
school.
exactly.
And it's embarrassing.
It was. It was pretty pathetic that two adults were sitting there going off on each other like that. But
Yeah, but
he.
she would answer the questions, and a lot of the questions
Mhm.
were stuff that he had said before, and he
Right.
wanted to change it.
Exactly.
And so I felt she answered. I think sometimes
She
she
did.
went off, but I don't think she was any comparison to what he was.
No,
And then
no.
to watch him behind her, he was like a troll. Like he was.
Exactly.
I mean,
Was
really look at those tapes again
Yeah.
and see how he's behind her.
But
like
you know
he's
what?
just all angry.
I was talking to a friend a couple of days ago, and he was saying that what he did in the background, they're taught in theater to do things like that in movies to create a distraction, to keep the whoever's watching, your mind then goes to that person in the background because they are creating a distraction. Now you're not paying attention to what the person up front is saying. So if he's smart enough to have done that by design, that was a pretty interesting tactic, if you will.
I think it was cocaine. I think it was cocaine fidgeting.
It looked like nervous energy to me as well.
Absolutely.
You know, and I was waiting for somebody to start playing White Lines on the.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And
Oh,
he
well,
sniffed
did you
them.
see what Facebook's? You can no longer put covers up. They're taking them down. This
What do you mean
universal-
covers?
You know how, say, a kid sings a song and they
Oh.
put it the video? They're pulling them down.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they started that. I
Well,
think
good, because most of
yesterday.
those covers suck anyway.
I
so.
don't think so. I've heard some pretty good kids.
Yeah, well, stay on YouTube with that.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
Facebook.
I'll tell you, Apollo, that it's funny at this point, and quite frankly, I think that what is happening with the Republican Party now, I'm not sure that they can survive and regroup. What do you think?
Well, I think their base. I mean, you got to look at what is their base? Most of their base has died off. I mean, the people they used to appeal to.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you're looking at really the X generation is their base now, and they're not. There's nothing that they have in their platform or that appeals to that base anymore.
Yeah. Well, why is it that the base doesn't understand that? I mean, they've got a significant number of people that are supporting him, and we can't
Yeah.
ignore that. It's not enough to win, I don't think,
No,
but
no.
it's pretty alarming that even if he's got 35% of the voting public,
Yeah,
that
but
to me seems a bit high.
It's a very rural base. I mean, when you look at the map, it's the what I guess what they would call the heartland, but it's very rural, very. I don't understand. I just don't understand. I mean, I really think we should just have an election in Ohio and Pennsylvania and Florida, and everybody else could stay home because they already they already know. They already know these states are going to go blue or red. So let's just save the money.
I
You
like
three
that.
states go vote. And let's just choose from those three. We'll just go ahead and give you the electoral votes for these states.
Yeah, exactly. It's a given. Now, did you see
Yeah.
where this guy, Corey something, he was the chairman of the party for Trump in Virginia. They fired him today because he was
Why?
doing things that they didn't want him to do, and he's complaining about not getting support from Donald and the Republican Party as it relates to signs and bumper stickers and, literature to pass out. He's not getting any support. So he was bitching and bellyaching about it, and they fired him today.
And you know what? What's up with the Apprentice people say they have the tape of Donald using. Why do they say the N-word? Because then they just make us think the word nigger in our mind when they say that.
Right.
So why don't they just say the bad word and not make us think it in
Well,
our head?
probably
But they
because Black Power would come to the studio and protest.
No, if they said we have a tape with Donald Trump
No, but
saying
you're
nigger on
you're
it."
not getting what
Yeah,
I'm saying. Black Lives Matter would show up there.
Well, maybe they would, maybe they
Oh,
wouldn't.
I
I
think
don't
they
know.
would.
But
Even though they're, like you said, why don't they just say the word?
well, I think because it does offend a lot of people, so they're trying to be
Yeah.
politically correct in that fashion, and I understand that. But it, I think that this is the tip of the iceberg. I think there's other stuff out there. I even saw something on the internet, and I don't know if it's true or not, because everything you see on the internet is not true.
That's exactly right.
But I read something that Geraldo evidently has interviewed him a number of times over the years, and evidently there's some more controversy in some of those interviews that might be coming out.
Well, I need to say this. I've been in some locker rooms in my life with the NBA, and
Mm-hmm.
mostly NBA locker rooms. I've never been in many NFL locker rooms, but there is some talk that goes on. Some people say, we never talk that in the locker room. No, that's not true. You guys do talk like that in the locker room. However, you're not trying to run a country.
No.
I'm not asking an athlete to be the president.
Yes, exactly.
And it's funny to me, man. It's just I don't know. I tend to believe that Donald. Think about it. He's fired his publicist. I mean, he can't get this kind of publicity anywhere else.
No.
And I think he's just going to get all this coverage, and then he's going to go back and do his thing. I don't think he really cares to win. I think it's just when you have a sociopath, egomaniac, misogynistic fool, he's loving this.
Hey,
He's
come on,
loving it.
come on, George. Tell me how you really feel about him.
I mean, he's an idiot.
But listen, okay, let's play what if here for a second. Assuming that he does not win his bid for the White House, he goes back to his normal life. Has he damaged his Trump brand?
I think he's damaged a lot. I think people really don't like him now.
Would you go stay at one of his resorts, or would you buy a condo from him?
I would if I'd stay at one of his resorts if he gives a really good deal.
Oh,
Maybe
really?
he'll open a chain of titty bars across the country. You know?
No, it wouldn't be a titty bar. It would be a crotch bar. Come in and get a handful.
Yeah, come grab it.
Grab a crotch.
Oh,
You know, I mean, come
I
on.
don't know.
Yeah.
The funny
It's
thing
pretty
I heard
sick.
was when, they were concerned about Hillary's head injury, when she had that concussion a few
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
And they said that Obama recently asked Bill Clinton, so how's Hillary's head? And Bill said, well, she's no Monica, that's for sure.
Stop it. I saw that one coming. Do I turn this mic off or what? See, on commercial radio, I would probably have to dip you on that
Oh, yeah, I
one.
wouldn't have said it on commercial radio, but after hearing you and your Republican friend the other day, I realized that was safe.
Yeah, right.
Who was that, Charles?
Which one was that? Was that?
Guy from Chicago.
Oh,
the
yeah.
gentleman from Chicago,
Yeah, Charles Butler.
Yeah,
He's off the chain.
Yeah, I talked to Mike Love later about him. He's like, oh, man, sometimes when I see him on my ID, I'm like, I can't even deal with him right now. I can't even. I haven't had my coffee. I can't take this call yet.
Yeah, you got to take your meds to talk to Charles.
That's right.
He's
guys
pretty
have a great
intense.
day, man. Enjoy listening to you. You guys have a great one.
Thank you, George. You take care. Be safe out there.
Yeah, man.
All right. Yeah, we've got some characters that call into the show. So, a lot of it is, well, no, I wouldn't say a lot. Some of it is satire. So don't take everything you hear on this show serious, especially Carol.
That was a good one, though.
See, I just kicked you in the knee and you missed it.
No, but I'm just thinking what he said. I
Yeah.
caught on to what he said.
Yeah,
And I thought, that was pretty good.
exactly. Yeah, let me say hello to Frankie. Tickle me, Frankie.
Not today.
Earl. Let's see who else is out there. Caesar, how you doing, man? Elise, will you call in if you're still there, Elise? I want to talk to you. I want to talk about what you're doing with your nonprofit organization. All right? So call in 424-227-9461. All right.
Now, Christie actually got mad at him, too, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So he's probably turned everybody.
Yeah,
against
I
him.
think they cut his donut budget, so he's pissed off, and he's mad at, he's upset with Trump because he doesn't support, he can't support what he said. And, it would be political suicide for him to do that. And those that are supporting him in that fashion, I think they are committing political suicide, and it's causing further damage and credibility to the Republican Party. And I think we're just going to have to, at some point in time, come to the realization that the Republicans are fried, died, and laid to the side. They're done. I don't know how they can recover.
Definitely know that.
And it's unfortunate that there's no other third party that can step up and take their place, because the Libertarian Party is a disaster. The Green Party is a joke. So there's an opportunity. People are always bitching and belly aching about, well, we only got two parties and blah, blah, blah. Okay, here's an opportunity. You got a fractured party. You got a party that's on life support at best, and I don't think it's going to survive. I really don't. I really don't. And when you got people still hanging in there like Mitch McConnell, I mean, how do they survive? How can you? Well, maybe you could do a facelift on Mitch McConnell, but the attitude, the mindset, the heart, the internal organ of the people is still going to be the same. And America's moving forward, and these guys are still in a rowboat trying to go backwards. I don't get it. You cannot stop progress. You cannot stop what people want. You can create roadblocks. You can throw out some roadblocks and slow it down. But the change is going to come. No, Lee Michaels ain't running for no president. No, ma'am. I got too many skeletons in my closet. Some of them are still alive. And I'm not going to live long enough for them to die. No, I have thought about maybe looking at a political office, but it is too taxing. I don't think I have the patience for it, first of all. And I think I could probably do more doing what I'm doing and going out door to door, knocking on doors, getting people engaged in the process of voting. As I did a few weeks ago, I went to Las Vegas to register people to vote. And along with three other busloads of people from Southern California, and I think it was several buses from Northern Cal. The Northern Cal people went into Reno, and the people that I went with, we went into Las Vegas. And we stood in front of retail outlets and got thrown out of several places. It's some evil people in Nevada, man. I thought Florida was nasty, but Nevada was real cowboyish. And I'm a cowboy fan. But I thought I was going to need my 6-shooter there for a couple of minutes. Some of them were real nasty, mean-spirited. And all we were doing is trying to get people to vote. I even took off any party affiliation from my body. I had no stickers on, no hats, no T-shirts, none of that. Just a regular guy out getting people registered to vote. Didn't talk about Hillary, didn't talk about Trump. Excuse me, sir, are you registered to vote? Hillary's a crook. Now, I didn't ask you that. But are you registered to vote? You can have an opinion about some of the candidates, but we're not talking about that. He just kept walking. Went inside and complained to the management at this grocery store called Smith's. And then she comes out to run us away. And I said, well, we're just having people, register to vote. We're not, doing anything. We're not hurting your business. Well, the customers are complaining. About what? Well, they don't think you should be out here. Well, we should be out here. You got the Boy Scouts table set up over here. Why is it okay for the Boy Scouts and it's not good for, doing our civic duty to encourage people to vote? So she says, well, it's a corporate policy. And I have a sister-in-law that works for the parent company. And I called her. I said, is this a corporate policy? And she said, no, it's not a corporate policy. It's an individual manager's decision or policy. And the best thing to do is to get that permission in writing up front, which I told the people there in Nevada. That's the way I did it in Illinois when I was the chairman of the Democratic Party in Will County, Crete Township. And I said to him, I said, listen, we need to get the permission from the establishment first, and that way the part-time managers or weekend manager people know that they can't run us away. Well, long story short, that's the problem. So, but you do have a right to do it. Now, they're going to put pressure on you and tell you it's private property and all that kind of stuff. And, the fact of the matter is you're not doing anything wrong, but you just got jackasses that don't want people out there doing it. They feel it's an invasion of their time or whatever. But usually those are those people that are just hate-filled, period, end. There's nothing illegal about registering people to vote. So I love engaging because I try to educate people. I don't want to get into no fist fight or anything like that with anyone because it's that serious, but we don't have to go there as Americans. Why can't we have a civil conversation, a debate about, what's good for America? And voting is a very important thing. Very important. You may not like the candidates. They may not be popular, but you need to vote for one or the other. Or you have the choice to vote for one of the third parties, the Libertarians or the Green Party, or the Dog Catchers Party, or the House Party. I'm going to create a new political party called the House Party. For all the House heads, the House music people. Let's get our own political party. House heads. See, I know some people out there going, what the hell is he talking about? House music. You don't know about house music? See, I was there in the city of Chicago where house music was born. In fact, the radio station WBMX that I was programming was the launching pad for bringing it to radio. So if you don't know about house music, Google it. And right next to it, you'll see names like Farley Jackmaster Funk, Kenny Jam and Jason, Ralphie Rosario, Scott Smokin' Seals, Mickey Mixon Oliver, and Frankie Knuckles. Quite interesting, when I put the Hot Mix 5 together, Frankie Knuckles didn't make the cut. Frankie became an international house music star. He sharpened up his skills and became much better than when he auditioned to be on the radio. But interesting how things turn out. And people get better. So that's what happened with Frankie. But I always wanted him on the team, but he was he was young. He didn't bring his tapes in on time. The quality wasn't good. His beats were a little off. So he didn't make the cut. And I always said, damn, I sure wanted him on here, But that's what house music is all about. Okay? So for those who don't know, now you know. Google it. You'll see. Now, what's wrong with my iPad over here? I think you did something to it.